cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Hey, but you are so money and you don't even know it.
I understood that reference.
Morning, Mr. Hammond.
Your mission, should you accept it, steal, destroy, shadow, disappear, assemble the team, and here we go.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to FreeWheeling Fridays as part of the Madness Entertainment Group. This is a show where we interview some of the best indie creators from all over the world, but we find out more about them by taking your questions and talking all things pop culture. Yeah. I am your host, Ryan of Van Dyke Quote Channel, and our guest on this episode is someone who's joining us from all the way over there, all the way, and I mean so far. We need an extended set of binoculars to find out where this is. I'm so sorry. But join us from where'd you learn to climb trees like that? The Pacific Northwest. That's a line from Seinfeld, in case anyone's wondering. Please welcome Cammry Lapka to the stage. Hello, Cammry. How are you? Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're quite welcome. I hope my introduction did you some justice there. I do my best.
Oh yeah, no, I'm way out here in the Pacific Northwest, all the way across.
Just make it. Well, there you go. All things good. But if you're just joining us, don't forget to like and share this with your closest friends. If you're joining us live on the replay, thank you so much for doing that. If you have any questions for the guest of honor, Cammry, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. More than happy to take those as they come in, respectively. With that piece of business out of the way, Cammry, when were you first introduced to comic books?
At a very young age. Actually, I think it was cartoons mostly when I was a kid. But my father drew comics and stuff. And then my mom was also an artist. So that was kind of my start. My beginning was both my parents kind of influenced it. And then I kind of got into cartoons and it just kind of snowballed from there. So.
No, that's cool. That's cool. What would you say were some of your favorite comic book writers or artists, either past or present?
Well, Brian Lee O'Malley's a big one. My friend Corey Lewis, I have a funny story about him, but he's a really good artist, indie artist who does a lot of really cool stuff. I just recently got into Mike Mignola's stuff. I just finished the whole series of Hellboy. There's a lot of them out there that I could sit here and list, but those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
You seen any of the Hellboy movies?
No, I haven't.
All right. Well, obviously the OGs with Ron Perlman, the first two, you should probably check out. A lot of people say those are some of the most criminally underrated comic book to movie adaptations.
Oh, gotcha.
Out there. And Ron Perlman's been in the business for years, and they're all directed by those two movies are directed by Guillermo del Toro, who's one of the best filmmakers in Hollywood.
Oh.
So
that sounds like a really good combo.
Mm-hmm.
I knew there was Hellboy movies out there, but I've never really been a big movie or TV show person. I like to read the books and the comics. But yeah, I will absolutely check that out.
All right, there you go. That's added to your 2,000-mile long to-do list, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And you kind of answered you kind of segued into our next question here. What would you say are some of your favorite comic book-based movie or TV series, past or present? But it seems like you just like to focus on the floppies and the graphic novels rather than switching on a little thing called a TV set and going through the dials.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a manga anime too. So I mean. Some of my favorites, One Piece. I really I have all of the comics for a few others. I've got, I really like Junji Ito. I like Fire Force. I could just sit here and list them. There's a whole bunch of them, but yeah, no, big anime fan here.
I'm surprised you didn't mention DBZ or.
That's on the list too. Absolutely.
Okay.
That was one of my first animes that I had got into as a kid because my dad used to watch Dragon Ball all the time, so I'd sit and watch with him.
No kidding, and another fun fact for those of you who are watching or listening to us, we've had the pleasure of interviewing one of the voice actresses from Dragon Ball Z. She voiced Kid Goku and Gohan on DBZ not too long ago. Her name is Stephanie Nadolny is her name. And she's based out of the great state of Texas. So if you go on our anti-quote channel, which is written right here below my below my name, free plugs, everybody. After you're done watching this incredible interview with the guest of honor, Cammry Lapka, don't forget about that. You can check out our interview we've done not once, but twice with Stephanie Nadolny. She's been on set with us twice, talking about her days working on DBZ and how it feels great to come back and do it again. And also, she's a big fan of music. So we talked each other's ears off about different things we like about music or different genres of music. So there you go. Yeah. Once again, Anna Core channel is where you can follow us. And if anyone needs the links individually, let me know and I'll send them over your way. Cammry, same for you. If you need me to send them to you in a DM so you can go back and watch some of that stuff, more than happy to do it. But I dig it. So what made you decide to become an indie comic book artist or writer?
Well, it just kind of happened naturally, I suppose. Well, when I was a kid, I really wanted to like work at like Cartoon Network or like Nickelodeon or Disney or something. But I quickly realized as I got older that it's super competitive and the environments aren't the best. So, I went the route of just doing my own stuff. This is my Kickstarter. This is my first one that I'm publishing that I've written and drawn. So I'm still kind of breaking into this industry and this world. So I'm very excited to be a part of it. So.
Wow, going out on your own, going out to those hills. See if there's any gold up in those hills with that Kickstarter.
Yes.
All right. Well, I do hope you find gold up there in them hills. And
we all do, right? We're all crossing our fingers, but it's just gonna take a lot of hard work, sweat and tears, whatever the saying is.
Well, sometimes people say blood, sweat, and tears, but they also say hard work does pay off.
Okay, there you go.
So we can just roll with that. So what would you say are some of the rewards about being an indie comic book artist or writer, in your opinion?
The control over your stuff. I'd say it's also, the community is really supportive and I've just made so many friends. And it's nice to have people who are in the same struggle as you or working and passion. It's I'd say that's a much better environment than like big corporate stuff or all that jazz. So
corporate, who wants to work for those guys? I know who wants to work for those clowns, right? Unless it's Jack Napier and his crew running Gotham like they did in 1989's Batman. For those of you who've seen the Tim Burton classic, Antoine got a little hot under the collar. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, I know. Just out of curiosity, though, have you seen 89's Batman, the Tim Burton one?
I haven't, no.
Wow. Okay. We're going to have to correct this. It's going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any movie suggestions, whether they be comic book adaptations or not, drop it in the comments. Because I think Cammry is going to be excited to dive into this universe known as cinema. Just a little bit. A little bit. I'm not asking you to watch all 70,000 of these things because we don't want to overwhelm you on your first day at school. But I would encourage you to watch a few of these comic book based movies. And specifically, since you just finished reading Mike Mignola, I think Hellboy is a good transition for you.
Yeah.
But when you're done Hellboy and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, which is the subtitle of the secondary film, please check out Tim Burton's Batman. It is so iconic.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I'm
a big fan of Tim Burton, so
okay.
You got me sold on that.
There you go. So that Tim Burton has made some good stuff over the years. For example, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, right?
Oh, wow, I didn't know that he did that.
Well, that was his Hollywood filmmaking debut, Cammry. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yes.
That's
he made
crazy.
that. He made Batman. He made Beetlejuice. Just don't say his name 3 times, otherwise he's going to pop out of the statue there over to the side of the desk.
Yeah.
But he's made what was it, Sleepy Hollow? He did an adaptation of Sleepy Hollow. If you remember that one with what's his name, Johnny Depp, who's in everything.
Oh yeah.
Because they've made like 12 movies together. I think it is him and Tim Burton, Johnny Depp. Mm-hmm. He did Edward Scissorhands. I don't know if you're familiar with Edward Scissorhands. Yeah. He did Dark Shadows. I mean, is there anything Tim Burton hasn't touched? Honestly, it's Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. By the way, Matthew Creek is here. Matthew says you need to watch Independence Day with Will Smith. Okay,
all right, sounds good.
That's a good sci-fi. It's a sci-fi movie. It's really
compile
good.
It all together so I can start a little list.
There you go. Well, Independence Day is one of them. Then Matthew apologizes and says, "Oh, wait, we're talking about comic movies. I'm sorry." He also
All
goes on
good.
to say All-Star Superman, which is an animated DC film, All-Star Superman.
Oh, okay.
So you might want to check that out if you want to start exploring the animated comic book movie genre a little bit.
I
I'm a
do like
mass.
the animated stuff. So.
Well, I'm a massive Superman fan, so yeah. Also, Superman is one of the pivotal storylines. So I would encourage anybody to either read the comic book that the movie is based on, or watch the movie. However you want to do it, Cammry, I'm going to leave that up to you.
Okay.
I mean, perfect example. Tomorrow just happens to be Free Comic Book Day here in the world.
Oh.
So the first the first Saturday in May of every year is celebrated as Free Comic Book Day at every local comic shop in the country. So, if there's a comic book shop near your neck of the woods in the Pacific Northwest, then you should check out some free comics tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we do have a comic store here, so maybe I'll meander on down.
Giddy up, yeah, and take your family, take your friends, take the dogs and cats living together with mass hysteria. Enjoy themselves. Treat yourself to some free comics tomorrow, everybody. Support your local comic shop. Support the businesses that support you. That's one of the things we encourage here on Madison Entertainment Group, and also FreeWheeling Fridays, which is you're currently watching or listening to right now. Do not forget to like and share. If you're joining us live on the replay, Memorex, thank you for doing so. Hello there. And if you have any questions for the guest of honor or have any movie suggestions for the movieology education of Cammry Lapka, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Flip side of the coin, though, what are some of the biggest challenges about being an indie comic book artiste or writer in your eyes?
You definitely, for me, I've always had, because there's a lot of it is time management. Because if you really want to get serious, I think, planning is huge. And for most of my life, I just was kind of like, whatever, throw things together, draw whatever I want. But if you're turning it into a career, you definitely have to have a specific, plan for it all. So that's definitely something that I've had to learn how to do and do effectively in order to even finish projects. So, and I think the other thing is marketing yourself. I think that's a really difficult one as well that I've found I struggle with a lot of the time. I'd say those are the big ones for me, at least.
Well, time is fleeting, right? Tempus fugit. Time is fleeting, and there's so much to do in so little time. So that's what you gotta do, folks. What you gotta do. What advice would you give to somebody who wants to become an indie comic book artist?
Just keep drawing and learn how to plan. That's going to be the biggest thing. It's a lot different when you turn it into a career. So that's one big thing. Whenever somebody says that they want to start selling books or start selling artwork, I'm always, it's going to change how you feel about it. Because once it starts to be work, then it just becomes work. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Understand. Oh, by the way, Matthew Creek says I just pledged $5 to this.
Oh, Thank you.
Look at you.
I appreciate it.
You know what they say, right? Every little bit helps,
That's
folks. True. Which is, yeah, exactly. Cammry and I agree on this. So, $5. That's it. That's 5 more than what we started with. So
yeah, I know. Inching closer every day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I know the Kickstarters are currently going on. We're going to post a link here in the comment section for those of you who are watching or listening to us to check out this Kickstarter. Support it if you can. If you can back it, sweet as can be. But if you can't, the least we can do is share it out, get the word out. More eyes and ears on this thing so they can take a look at it, see what they think, all that kind of jazz. But with that being said, what are some of the lessons you've learned that you would pass on to somebody else who wants to start putting together what is known as a Kickstarter campaign?
Oh my goodness. I'm still fumbling around trying to figure out how to do Kickstarters. There's a lot of like little things. Like I probably would have, for this campaign in specific, I probably would have offered some higher value tiers because I realized I have to get a lot of people to pledge to this Kickstarter in order to make that goal, because it's such small amounts. And then, budgeting and trying to make sure that you have enough for all of the things. I've had to build like spreadsheets for that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it's just planning and marketing, both things that has definitely given me a hard time. But yeah, it's the best advice I got.
Gotcha. Understandable. So, and thank you for sharing that with us. Matthew says, I have an artist working on my own paranormal comic series at this time. Wow.
Oh, awesome.
Man, everybody seems to be dipping their toes into the paranormal.
I know.
Yeah,
Well, it's fun. I don't know. It's fun. I like the weird stuff.
I mean, you know what they say in the 1990s, right? The truth is out there.
Yes.
Anyone else remember the X-Files? They shot a lot of episodes, I'm assuming, on the Pacific Northwest, too. A lot of urban legends and storylines were set out there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's quite the legends out here. I actually met a gentleman. His name's Ryan Grulich. He's a filmmaker. But he was gracious enough to let me do a screening of his documentary, because it's about the Lady of the Lake legend, which is like a huge deal here where I'm at. It's about Hallie, who was killed by her husband and dumped into Lake Crescent. And the lake is known for not giving up its dead. But a few years later, she had floated to the surface with her hands sticking out of the water. And since there's such a high nitrogen content, and it's so cold, all of the fats on her body had turned to soap. So, yeah, there's a big legend about her here, Lady of the Lake. And so when I launched my comic, I had done a screening of his documentary, and it was a lot of fun. And so there's a lot of legends here, and that's why this comic is kind of my fun thing. It's kind of cliche in its own way, but I think the cliches are where they're cliches for a reason.
Lady of the Lake. That sounds like a TV movie or an episode of Supernatural that's waiting to happen. Cue the music, guys. Where's Jaron and Jensen when we need them? Jeez. Well,
Absolutely.
tell me about it. But before we dive into more of what the project that's currently going on with the Kickstarter in regards to what Cammry and her creative team is doing, we want to give a shout out to all the great creators that we know of that are out there putting their heart and soul into everything that they're doing. And, especially our guest of honor here tonight, Cammry Lapka, doing her thing, kicking tail, taking names. Want to give a shout out to these kind folks. So we have this to share with you who are watching or listening. So take a look.
Beyond the world we know is a place where reality bends and time stands still. A place where legends, fairy tales, and nightmares are real. A world where legends are born and destinies collide. Alice has spent her life lost in an interdimensional rift known as Wonderland, and it forged her into a deadly bounty hunter. With her ancient clockwork guardian Big Ten by her side, they hunt the things that stalk the shadows of Wonderland. Alice Lost in Wonderland issues 1 and 2 launch May 6 on Kickstarter. Follow along at GoMrFish.com.
I am Bo-Katan, and you are watching us on Madness Comic Network.
Oh, thanks, Bo-Katan. Good to see you as well, with it being May the 4th this weekend and all. May the 4th be with you. Hello. Any Star Wars fans in the building? I'm one of them. I'm wearing a Jedi shirt, for Pete's sake. Trust me, Cammry, I'm a Jedi. I'm not a Sith. So
Awesome.
it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So let's dive into this a little bit here. Let's dive into the Pacific Northwest and all its glory and its mysteries. So what's his name? George, not just any George Smith, the George Smith, Paranormal Investigator of the Pacific Northwest. How did this come about, and what can we expect to see here in this story?
George Smith kind of started out as like a little baby idea. I had this idea of a guy who's just a regular guy, but he keeps running into cryptids, and it evolved because I've been working on this for like 5 years now, and I finally just decided to say, okay, I gotta put something out, and I just gotta do it. But yeah, I mean, he was just kind of like my little guy that I kind of put myself into, and like, you know, when I walk through the woods here, or you know, just going on walks in general, it's so beautiful, and half the time it's kind of mysterious and kind of spooky. So it's kind of my love letter to this area. Because I do use real places in the comic. The first page actually has Port Angeles. I drew Port Angeles. It's from the view from the spit. And so, yeah, there's a lot of local places that I include in there. Lots of local legends. Yeah, I mean, it's just my love letter to the Pacific Northwest and the legends that exist here.
Looks really. I like the unique cover. Kind of reminds me of a. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't put exactly my finger on, but it reminds me of an animated series that looked similar to this style of look.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely tried to draw on some of the cartoony, because it is like a all ages friendly comic. So it's kind of directed more towards like teens or kids, but I do have a very deep, like, emotional story planned out for it. So.
Oh, okay. Because someone in the comment section, I think it was Matthew here. He says, "How many pages is your comic going to be?"
So right now it's 32. That's what I have on the Kickstarters. That's how many pages. But I mean, it might fluctuate, but it's right now it's at 32. So. Oh,
I think I was going to say, I think that's 10 pages more than what the average comic book is, because isn't the average one like 22, 24 pages?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so you're going a little bit going above and beyond the Call of Duty here.
Yeah, well, and the 32 is also, it includes like the cover or the pages inside and the because I'm gonna have like Kickstarter call outs and all that stuff, so like that includes all of that stuff. I think my actual comic is probably let me actually look at my page count right now, because I can look at that and see. So I think it's around 24, 26. Yeah, 26. There's 26 pages.
Okay.
Actual pages, so.
All right, cool. Congratulations. The link is in the comment section for everybody who's watching on any of our live feeds for the Kickstarter, so you can check that out there. Back it if you can, or share it out with your friends who are into paranormal, investigative type stories, or cryptids as they're known as. Yes, cryptids are very, very big around here. They're very big around the interwebs. I mean, Sean Forney's got one going on right now with Scarlet Huntress, so lots of stuff going on there. By the way, Madness Entertainment Group, also known as Pops Van Zandt, says, "Hey, yo." What's up, Pops? What's up, Pops? Good to see you, man. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. And by the way, Pops, congrats on all the B-roll and interviews and little shout-outs you got from all the different cosplayers and celebrity guests at some of the conventions you've been appearing at recently, especially that Bo-Katan one, man. That's just free. As a Star Wars fan, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then you got a guy who looked like Rodney Dangerfield. That was funny. From Caddyshack, which is a comedy from, I want to say, is it the 80s, Pops? I think it is the 80s, isn't it? Does the name Caddyshack mean anything to you, Cammry?
Nope.
No? Okay. Wow. Man, I'm telling you, Movieology 101 is going to be a great course for Cammry to dive into, which she has a moment to spare. Obviously, her
Absolutely.
priority right now is going to be the Kickstarter, as it
Yeah.
should be. But when the Kickstarter wraps up and you get stuff going on there, respectively, Cammry, we got to help you with this.
All right.
There's so many great
Sounds good.
movies out there that, I mean, Caddyshack is okay. I don't think it's great like a lot of people make it out to be, but it was, it is what it is. What's his name? Pops goes on to say Caddyshack is in fact the best golf movie. I don't know, man. Happy Gilmore is pretty damn good too. Did you ever see Happy Gilmore? I mean, Happy Gilmore is kind of iconic. So, but if you say Caddyshack is the best, Pops, hey, we'll
I'll believe you. I believe you.
we'll let it slide. So, how many issues is this? Are you planning on this going for? Is this going to be like 5 issues, 10 issues, 20 issues? You're going to pull a Kevin Feige and do 50 issues like Carissa Grant over here is doing?
I think the max might be 10. I'm not entirely sure. Like the story is completely written out, but it hasn't been like broken down and scripted quite yet. So I'm not entirely sure how many books it's going to end up being. In the end, I do want to compile it into one big graphic novel. But honestly, if this Kickstarter doesn't fund, but we're going to fund. Let's do it. Then I have a lot of other projects that I'm working on too. And I may kind of venture into the Webtoons area and try that out and see how that works. But yeah, I think, max 10 issues because I don't want to be spending too much time on it forever, even though I love it, but I just want to get it out there.
I gotcha. Well, fair enough. And once again, wish you all the best of luck with this. Hope it goes over well. And the fact that it's kid friendly, that opens it up to a huge audience. So that's gonna help it out tremendously. And we'll share it out on our social medias for you. Gonna get the word out, get people interested. It's like, hey man, this is a bit, a little bit on a different side of the fence here, and there's nothing wrong with that. So let's dive into Paranormal Investigator. Let's see what George Smith can come up with. He may find something you didn't expect him to find. For instance, in a little indie film that just turned 30 this year, the Goofy movie. I mean, the Papa Goof and Max Goof run into Bigfoot. So, I mean, who'd have thunk, right?
Yeah.
So there is. I was gonna say there is that. Let's see here. Madison Entertainment Group, also known as Pop, says Happy Gilmore is good, but he's no Chevy Chase. Nah. All right. I agree to disagree, brother. Madness says, see your future, be your future. I'm a veg, Danny. It's too late for me. Must be a line from some other property I'm not aware of. And then Pop has grandkids. He likes all ages books. See, there you go. This is for the grandkids. This is for the little munchkins, the 5-year-olds, the 6-year-old, whatever, like 4-year-old. Like they can get into this sort of stuff, right? I mean, just out of curiosity. Yeah, just out of curiosity, what's your favorite urban legend or cryptid that you've either heard about or maybe? Well, let's get a little bit more interesting here. Have you ever experienced any of these cryptids for yourself? Has any one of these things that we've heard about for many, many years actually spoken to you, or come out of the woodwork, or come out of the swamp and say, "Hey, I do exist. I'm real"?
I sure wish. No, I haven't encountered any of them personally.
Okay.
But I mean, they're very fun in the story department. And in that way, I feel like they've appeared to me, but like story wise, it's fascinating because there's a lot of other myths and legends around this area that are specific to like the native peoples. Like the Thunderbird is a really big deal over here. The Klallam tribe, actually, on their flag, it's the Thunderbird. So he's going to be a big deal in my comic as well. So there's lots of hyper local things that I find very, very interesting.
All right. Well, if you see the Swamp Thing, Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, the Wendigo, or
I'll make sure to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, definitely let me know if those things are out there. And by the way, the story you told us earlier about the Lady of the Lake, I mean, yes, it's unfortunate that she was a victim of murder, but at the same time, her coming to the surface with her hands up and them finding the body. Does that mean that the lake is now haunted with her spirit because of what happened to her?
I guess so. There's just a lot of stories about the Lady of the Lake, that there's some spirit who shows up to people, And I mean, I have some people who say that they've seen the lady on the lake before. I have I went out and camped late into the night on the lake, and I didn't see anything. But it is definitely kind of a creepy, interesting atmosphere at night because it's so gorgeous. You can see the stars, but the forest and the mountains like loom over you, and the lake is so vast. Like it's the second biggest lake, second or third biggest lake in Washington State, deepest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people say that they've never found the bottom of the lake, but I think that it's like just under 700 feet deep.
Ooh. 700 feet. Goodness gracious. Okay, I can't. I'm not risking it going into that lake, guys. I was gonna say that's not happening for me, Cammry. If I ever visit you guys up there in the Pacific Northwest, I'm not going near that lake. If that thing is 700 feet. One thing, if it's 700 feet deep and that's legit, I'm like, nope. That's number one. Number two, if I see something that looks like a lady in the lake, I'm like, no.
I love that lake. I always say, like, when I die, just throw my ashes into the water because that's where I just want to be for the rest of my life, is that lake.
Oh,
So I like to go swimming during the summer times.
Sure.
And I just to have something to do, I'll go swim around and pick up trash underneath the water. And my favorite thing is there's a drop off, and there's some trees that have fallen into the lake that you can just see them looming up from the depths. And it's just vast, like open water underneath. It's very awe-inspiring being under there and just witnessing the vastness. So yeah, I do love that lake.
All right. Well, we know that Cammry volunteers as tribute, but Ryan of Anaco Channel does not. I'm sorry to say I can't.
I'll be tribute.
That's what you say. Yeah, you volunteer as tribute for me and whatever district I'm in. I just it's not happening. By the way, Madness Sanitarium says earlier on that was a Chevy Chase quote from Caddyshack. Ryan, gas. You missed a movie quote? Yeah, I guess I did. Say it isn't so. Yeah, I missed it. I'm sorry. Matthew Creek says I have seen a hand-sized human-shaped insect at one point in his life.
What? That sounds crazy.
Hand-sized. Hold on a second. Let me picture this. So hand-sized, human-shaped insect. Okay, all right. That's creepy as all get out, man. Do you know the name of this thing? Like, does it have a name? Is there an urban legend that surrounds it? I mean, I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
I don't know what's. Well, I mean, pushing things forward, like with George Smith being a paranormal investigator, if this series became adapted as an animated series, do you have any idea of who you would cast in the roles?
No, I had not. I mean, so I animated the trailer and I had my friends voice the main characters because I think my friend Nathan Heffel, he does some voice acting and his voice was just perfect. That's exactly how I imagined George to sound. If I wanted to actually cast celebrities, that might take a little bit of time and thinking, because I don't even know. I'm just have my friends do all the voices.
It's all good. It's all good. Let's support the actors or people who are in this kind of business that don't get a chance to be spotlighted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is understandably so. Matthew says this hand-sized human-shaped insect looked like a fairy, but it was too dark to tell at the time.
Oh, okay. So now I'm kind of getting more of a visual. Now I kind of understand. For some reason, I was imagining like a beetle that was just oddly shaped.
Yeah, a beetle, bug, something like that. And then Master Entertainment Group says, I do voices. I get. By the way, I understood this reference. What do you mean you do voices? Well, I do voices. That's Robin Williams from Mrs. Doubtfire. So I got you on that one, Pops. I got you. And Robin Williams, we miss you.
Yes.
Wish he was still around because he's one of a kind. There's never going to be another one. And he also taught us to carpe diem, Cammry. Seize the day.
Yeah.
You know?
I do love Robin Williams. He was definitely one of my favorites when I was growing up. I thought he was really silly.
Well, he's very good at voiceover work. So if he ever did voiceover for George Smith, Paranormal Investigator, I think he would have a laugh riot with you.
Oh,
yeah. I think that would have been fun if that were to come to fruition.
I would have loved to hang out with Robin Williams. That would have been a great time.
Yeah, for sure. And RIP to Robin Williams. Matthew Creek says, I hear voices. Well, I mean, what voices are we talking about here, though? Are we talking about cryptid type voices? Are you talking about your friends, family, or coworkers' voices when you're at work every day? Like, I don't know what you're trying to get at here, Matthew. But, but gee willikers. Outside of that, is there an artist or writer that you hope to collaborate with that you haven't done so yet?
Um, hmm. I've got a lot of friends that I really look up to and think that they're kicking butt. Um, I am actually collaborating with someone right now that uh, he's a good friend of mine. He's a very talented comic book artist. His name's Per Berg or Narwhal, and he does a lot of really cool comic book stuff. And we're kind of doing a collab, and that's kind of what I was looking forward to, is being able to do some stuff with him. But otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I would really love to meet Brian Lee O'Malley. I'd like to pick his brain and, you know, talk to him, and be fun to do a collab. But I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Hey, dream big, win big. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
So you got to reach for the stars there, Cammry. Just reach out. You can grab it. The sky's the
All
limit,
right.
my friend. So
All right. I like that attitude.
Yeah, just go for it. We only live once, folks, so we got to go big. And as they say in professional sports, you either go big or you go home.
There you
So
go.
I'm just throwing
Wise
that out there.
words.
Exactly. I'm just throwing that out there as an example, or for instance. What has your experience been from going to conventions or signings, whether you're there as a vendor or there as an attendee? What's your experience been like?
So I'm usually a vendor at the conventions. I usually have a really good time. The bigger conventions have always been kind of a hassle, though. Like, I had done Emerald City a few times, and then I had done a convention in Portland that was relatively big, but I had experienced a lot of problems, and Emerald City hasn't accepted me for the last 2 years, and I'm kind of like, oh well. So I do prefer the smaller ones. There's a lot of community. I help fund a local comic convention here in Port Angeles, and every time I go every year, I always meet somebody new, or somebody who's trying to break into the industry. And it's a very tight knit community. We help each other, and it's just fun to have other people who are creative and hang out. Like, the after parties are always fun, and just making friends, lifelong friends. That's always my favorite part of conventions.
Absolutely. The support system, the camaraderie, for sure. And congratulations on helping, put together that convention in your neck of the woods, supporting local conventions. That's great stuff.
Yeah. Jess she's the actual organizer. I just throw money at her, but I mean, I try to help where I can. But she's kind of the type of lady to just like, she's like, go, does everything herself. And I'm always like, Jess, if you need help, like, please let me know. And she's like, okay, I will let you know. But she just does everything. So she kicks butt. And Squatchcon has always just been really fun. It's my favorite convention of the whole year. And it's like right down from my house. So I can just like walk down there, which is really nice. And I don't have to like load up my car and like be worried I'm forgetting things.
What have you ever, or would you be willing to dive into something known as cosplay? And if so, what would you cosplay as?
Oh, I have cosplayed in the past. I did make a full like Nezuko costume. I had like demon eye contacts in, and the kids were like freaked out because the slits don't stay up and down, they like rotate, and so like they were like watching my like contacts rotate around. But no, that was a lot of fun. I really like cosplaying Nezuko. As for other ones, I mean, the only other ones that I can think of are kind of obscure. Like, I really like the audio drama Magnus Archives, and I've wanted to cosplay as some of those characters for a while. I've been collecting like eye jewelry. I don't know if you can actually see that. That's my eye ring that I bought.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where my mind is for cosplay.
All right. Interesting. But I dig it, though. I dig it. And cosplay can be very fun. As we discussed earlier, when I cosplayed, I started doing Indiana Jones. I did Marty McFly from Back to the Future.
Nice.
I went as a Jedi, just a generic Jedi from Star Wars, because Star Wars is kind of a big deal. It's been going on for 50 years, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is crazy that it turns 50 in 2 years. It's going to be the half a century anniversary here in less than 2 years' time, Cammry. So,
that is insane. That's crazy.
Yeah, and in a couple of weeks on our YouTube channel and Echo channel, we're going to be sitting down and celebrating the 45th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. So there's a lot going on around here.
Yeah.
A lot of movies are turning a certain age. A lot of movies from the 80s are turning the big 4-0. Or 45 years young, or it's just it's ridiculous.
I know, it seems like time's just moving faster and faster.
I know. Do us a favor, time. Stop being so damn fast.
Slow down.
I know, seriously. I don't want to go 200 miles an hour like they do in a NASCAR race. For those of you who grew up watching NASCAR, I mean, I grew up watching it back in the 90s, early 2000s. But yeah, stop going so dang fast. All right, you're killing me, Smalls.
I know.
You're killing me. It's just
quite literally.
It is. I mean, it's just nonsense. No, stop it. Any conventions you hope to, aside from Emerald City Comic Con, that you hope to be tabling at in the future? Any other? Do you want to go to San Diego or New York at some point, or maybe even what's the other big one? C2E2.
I don't know.
Big Fish.
Yeah, traveling is. I would like to do SummerCon. That's here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not like a super big one. If I had the opportunity to go for free to like the New York or San Diego, that might be an option. But, traveling, it gets kind of stressful having to make sure that I break even because, I mean, it's always kind of a hit or miss, especially with all the expenses that goes hand in hand with traveling like that. So yeah, the logistics. But yeah, SummerCon is one that I want to do just to check it out.
All right. Well, we hope the odds are ever in your favor.
Thank you.
When it comes to that, when the going gets tough, what is a motivational word or phrase that inspires you to keep going?
Could
be anything you've heard, whether it's in your real life or professional life, maybe something you heard across a movie or a TV series. I know you don't watch much of that, but if anything popped up that stood out to you, what would it be?
I don't know. I can't think of anything cool off the top of my head, but I guess, just be stubborn. Don't give up. Keep going. Yeah, I wish I could think of something really cool off the top of my head, but I can't. I'm sure I've seen or heard something that made a difference, but yeah.
It's okay. So much for leaving us in suspense and us playing the Jeopardy theme song so we can get through this final round of Jeopardy. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding you. But no, in all honesty, George Smith, Paranormal Investigator, check it out. Link is hey, someone let the dog out.
Yeah.
The link is in the. It's okay. It happens. Link is in the comments, so you guys can check it out. Who let the dogs out? That's just that song has been out for so many years now, Cammry.
I know. That's classic, though.
It is, but it's almost like second nature to us. I'm just saying.
I know. All I can think of anytime it's letting the dogs out. There it is. There's that song. It's rolling through my head.
Can't help it. Rolling through your head. What are some of your favorite songs or musicians? Anything pop out to you?
I have a lot. Some of my favorites, though, that have stuck with me through the years is of Monsters and Men, Purity Ring, and I really like. I like Half Alive. It's a lot of these are really obscure. So, Monsters and Men for sure. I'm sure you've probably heard a song from them before. But I mean, I do like a lot of like indie music. So yeah, I mean, pretty standard, nothing too crazy.
Gotcha. Do you ever listen to this music while you're writing, or what is your writing process like?
So yeah, I do. I actually listen to like movie soundtracks when I write, or video game.
I was gonna say movie soundtracks. That's ironic.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't watch them a whole bunch, but I do like the soundtracks. So I mean, I listen to a lot of those. Otherwise, like when I'm drawing, I typically listen to like podcasts or audio dramas. So that's a big one for me.
Well, there you go. That's what Freeling Fridays and Anti-Quote Channel is all about. So you can just have us on in the background in your studio while you're working or you're writing or you're putting together a great piece of artwork, whatever it may be.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, as we mentioned earlier, for those of you just tuning in for Freeling Fridays, yep, see, someone's going to let the dogs out. I knew it was going to happen, guys.
I know. They're very loud. I apologize.
It's fur babies. What are you going to do? But this weekend is in fact Free Comic Book Day at your local comic shops, and then on Sunday, May the 4th, is also known as May the 4th be with you, also known as Star Wars Day. So there's a lot to celebrate this weekend in the world of geekdom/nerdom. Just visit your local comic shop; they'll hook you up with some great comics, and Star Wars Day. So I'm sure they're going to have some Star Wars comics there laying around somewhere. I'm sure, because they've been around for many years. Let's not forget about that. As far as soundtracks go, I think The Crow has a good soundtrack from 1994. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, but I'll definitely look into it.
Marvel's Blade, that soundtrack was pretty iconic back in 1998. I know I'm dating myself, guys. Yeah, anybody remember CDs, those giant things called discs that you had to pop into a CD player or a Discman? Anybody remember what a Discman is?
I remember cassettes.
Do you? Cassette play? So you remember the Walkman?
Yeah, but I didn't have one.
You didn't have one?
No, I think I remember my mom had some cassette players way back when, but my first like personal music player was like a portable like CD player that I plugged my little headphones into, and it sucked because anytime I was carrying it around, it would always skip because it's So, but that's the earliest thing that I remember having for like mobile music.
Oh my man, we're going way back, guys. Going way back. Walkman, Discman, Swatches. Those unique little watches that we would wear as kids. We had Pogs. We had Tech Decks. Right? You had Snick on Nickelodeon, which was Saturday night programming of Nickelodeon. Right? With Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh yeah.
This was a popular TV. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with Are You Afraid of the Dark, Cammry, but if you want to watch a show that was like early days of children's TV programming, and not only that, it had some cryptids in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think I remember watching a few episodes when I was younger, and then somebody had put it on at some point a few years ago, because I had completely forgotten about it, and then I was like, oh yeah, I kind of vaguely remember this from way back when. So yeah, I do have an idea, but when I did watch it, I was very, very young.
Okay, gotcha. Well, there's Are You Afraid of the Dark? There's Goosebumps by R.L. Stein, which is a book series and also a television series that scared the living heck out of me when I was a kid. Especially when, a kid becomes a dummy or the girl gets trapped in this library she can't get out of or whatever. But just all this weird, like when the protagonist can't get out of a situation, I get scared. I feel bad for that character. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just... It's so bloody sad.
Yes.
But I'm just, then again, I'm just one person, so what do I know, right?
Yeah.
I don't speak for the majority here, Cammry, to put it that way.
Yeah, I do remember some of the Goosebumps stuff. Yeah, the puppet one definitely freaked me out. That's for sure. But yeah, that was some classic horror stuff. That's probably why I'm so into the horror stuff now. It's just all the spooky, scary stuff. I think the one thing that scared me the most when I was a kid, though, as far as media goes, was definitely the Dark Crystal. But I think that kind of freaked out everybody when they were kids, if they watched it as a kid.
Oh man, it's going to shock everybody here in the studio, including yourself. I've never seen Dark Crystal.
Wow.
I know.
See,
that's
the shoes on the other foot, whatever.
Shoes on the other foot. Yep, I got to catch up on that. I need to catch up on what was the other one that people told me to see? There was the Black Cauldron. There was Dark Crystal. There was I'm trying to think about I've seen Legend. I saw that one.
Oh, I love Legend.
Do you?
Yes, that one was one of my mom's favorite movies. So definitely
early Tom Cruise. as well as Mia Sarah from Ferris Bueller's Day Off was the love interest in that one. Did you know that?
No, is it Tom Cruise or is it?
No, it is.
Oh,
Yeah, Tom Cruise is in Legend, the movie Legend. Yeah, look it up.
okay.
It's a true story.
Who plays
I forget the other guy.
Rocky Horror?
Tim Curry. Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. Yes.
He plays evil or Satan.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
The horned devil. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it was. I've seen Legend. It was good. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. Here's another fancy one for you. Have you ever seen The Never-Ending Story?
Absolutely. That's a classic. That's one of my favorites.
Never-Ending Story. Lamal, guys. Lamal. Yeah. Cheesy 80s, but great soundtrack. All things considered here, Cammry. Let's be perfectly
Absolutely.
honest. A good friend of ours and indie best-selling writer Brina Williamson's here with us in the chat. She says, "You've got to see Dark Crystal, Ryan. You have to see the Dark Crystal." All right, Brina. I will get on that. Yes, Brina's a good friend of ours. Speaking of Kickstarter, her Kickstarter campaign just wrapped up. Congratulations to Invictum Digital and Brina Williamson on being fully funded for the audio drama series. It's based off of her book. Do we have a copy of it here in the studio here, folks? Let me see if we can find it here. Here's the book.
It's an audio drama.
Yes, it's based off her book.
I'm particularly fond of those.
All right, well, let's see if we can find the book here first before I lose my marbles. Hold on a second here, folks. I got so many books on my TBR desk, it's ridiculous. Here it is, Morona Grant and the Lost Tomb of Golgotha. So if you're into Indiana Jones, meets Tomb Raider, meets
that's awesome.
Meets National Treasure, I think you're going to like this. It's by Brina Williamson, as you can see on the cover here. Now, her Kickstarter just fully got funded, so the audio drama is going to be released here pretty soon. They have a pilot episode that you can find on youtube.com at Invictum Digital's YouTube channel, which if we find it here in a moment, we will place it in the comment section of this video so you guys can go back and watch the first episode, the pilot episode of this audio drama based off this book. So if you're into adventure type stories like Indiana Jones and Lara Croft Tomb Raider, or maybe even, what's the other one, Uncharted, the video game series Uncharted, if anyone's familiar with that, you're going to want to check out our good friend Brina Williamson. And look at this. By the way, she did all the artwork for this.
Wow.
This is all her work right here, as you can see here.
Awesome.
This has Indiana Jones vibes written all over it.
Oh, yeah.
I got to be honest. I mean, look at the silhouette here.
Yeah.
With the crew going up that mountain. You see that? I mean, and by the way, there is a dog in the story, and the dog is very, very important. Very
we love
character.
dogs.
Well, minor spoiler: the dog does not die.
Yay!
So you're gonna enjoy the storyline here. But we'll put the link in the chat for you guys for the pilot episode of the audio drama that's based off of this very book. Look how big this thing is. I mean, this thing is. Woo! Let me see. Let's share something else here with you folks, in case you're wondering. So she does the artwork for the back. Was it the front cover, the back cover, as you can see here? Let me see if I can find a page here. Good. Brina, where's Brina? She has some interior artwork for some of this. Let me see if I can find a page here that includes one of her pieces. Oh, here it is. Let's pull this up, guys. So there's some of her artwork right there.
Oh, awesome.
Of one of the characters that's featured in the storyline, as you can see here. But yeah, check it out. It's very cool. And every time I'm looking at this book, I get the Raiders March from John Williams playing in my mind here, Brina. So yeah, check it out. She's a good friend of ours, and her Kickstarter was fully funded. Congratulations to her and Invictum Digital for getting funded. Episodes 2 through 4 of the audio drama are going to be released here at some point in the near future, Cammry. So
awesome.
Get ready.
I will keep an ear out.
And I didn't know you were a fan of audio dramas. Do you have a favorite out there that you could share with us?
The Magnus Archives. That is by far my favorite. I actually have a tattoo. It's a cassette player. Statement begins.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, that one's by far my favorite. I also really like the Silt verses. I like.
What else?
Malevolent is a really, really good one. Midnight Burger, Sherlock and Co. is really funny and very good. yeah, the Adventure Zone is a D&D podcast, but they do a lot of story oriented stuff, and they have a really good cryptid arc. And so I recommend that one. But yeah, I've got a lot of those. I'm a big fan of audio dramas. That is mostly what my entertainment is the podcast, so I can draw and be entertained at the same time.
Well, we just did a huge favor for you and for you who may be watching or listening to this episode of FreeWheeling Fridays, part of the Madness Entertainment Group in the comfort of your own home. The link to the pilot episode of Morona Grant and the Lost Tomb of Golgotha has now been posted in the comment section. This is the pilot episode that you can watch or listen to, however you want to go about it, because there are little illustrations and little things that pop up during the video on YouTube. But if you just want to listen to it, because it is an audio drama primarily, check it out. The link is, in fact, in the chat there. So,
awesome.
And yes, the link to Cammry's Kickstarter is in the comment section of this episode of Freewheeling Fridays. Brina says, have you talked about Cammry's Kickstarter as of yet? Yes, you're just late to the party. I'm looking at the link you sent me and would love to hear you talk a bit about. All right. Well, so anything else you want to share about your Kickstarter, Cammry, that hasn't been said for the person who may be joining us a little bit late in the game?
Yeah. So I mean, it's a paranormal. It's kind of a buddy move or a buddy comic. Like the main character George is just a normal everyday guy. His daughter goes missing in the Olympic National Forest, and so he teams up with a retired forest ranger, Hank. And Hank had a brother that disappeared a long time ago as well. So they have to come together. At first, there's some like rough, like they don't like each other at first, but you know, they sort of warm up to each other while they're trying to navigate the mysterious and the paranormal and the strange. And it features a lot of local places from where I live. And it also incorporates a lot of local myths and legends, specifically from the native peoples in this area as well. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And it's my first novel. It's my first comic that I've written and drawn all myself. So it's kind of me putting myself out there and crossing my fingers that it sticks. But yeah, I hope that you take a look. And yeah, I fully animated the intro video as well by myself. I did have a little bit of help with voice work and some storyboarding, but yeah, so when you go to the Kickstarter and you watch the intro video, that was all me working real hard on that. But yes.
There you go, Brina. You're welcome. You may be a little bit late to the party, but there's nothing wrong with keeping the train going, and obviously getting the word out about these Kickstarters is very important. And marketing, as we talked about earlier, it can be difficult at times.
Oh yeah.
But you just got to put your best foot forward, right? The journey of 1,000 miles, Cammry, begins with a single step.
Absolutely.
So just gotta keep on keeping on, as one might say.
There we go. There's my quote.
Oh,
from earlier. There we go. I'm holding on to that one now.
Okay, so the one I just said, "Keep on keeping on," is that
the 1,000 miles first.
Oh, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Feel free to add that to your journal or
Cool.
your notebook, or however you want to slice it and dice it. I don't know. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh man. But yeah, no, there was. I mean, back in the day, we had so many great shows, whether they be scary or not. I mean, X-Files being huge, that was a huge thing. I mean, it was 9 years, 9 seasons, I think it was. And then they did the reboot years later, but that, you know, depends on who you ask. Just saying, as an example, do we have a fur baby who's trying to get up here on stage, or what are they doing?
Oh, yeah. Let me show him off.
Brina, you're gonna like this. Who is this fellow here?
This is Nacho Libre. He's a Chihuahua poodle mix. His dad was a miniature poodle, and his mom was a teacup Chihuahua, and that's why he's so tiny. Yes.
So tiny. Look at those eyes. He's just wandering around. He's like, what's this?
He's a forever puppy. He just looks
Aww.
So
look at that fur baby. Yeah, because Brina, you have a fur baby of your own, right? So I forget, what's the fur baby's name again, Brina? Let us know in the chat if you're able to type that in there for just a second. By the way, just out of curiosity, and you don't have to go into this if you wish not to pursue, but what are the significance of some of the tattoos that you have?
So actually, this one is Chiara Batista. She's an artist that I really, really like. I also have another one of hers. It's a little bunny skull. Obviously, I've got some Hayao Miyazaki little soot sprites. And then on this arm, This is my travel arm, so whenever I go to like different countries and I'm able to get a tattoo, I get tattoos, or at least I just started this trend for myself. But this one is from Iceland. It's sigil magic, because that's like the history of Iceland. They did a lot of sigil magic, and it means to create your own reality free of evil. And then this one is from Scotland. This is a fairy circle that I walked. And then cups and rings is just stuff that you can find out in the countryside, just randomly. They're not sure what they were used for, but it's just it's been there for thousands of years, so it's pretty cool.
There you go. Wow. All right. I respect that. Because, you know, I've noticed a couple of friends or acquaintances of mine over the years have gotten some tattoos, and I'm just curious, like, what are the significance? Why do they mean so much to you? And then they go into the stories, and obviously there's some background there. Some of them get them because they thought the design looked nice. Some of them get them because it's in loving memory of a family member.
Yeah, absolutely.
That they've lost, whether it be a mom or a dad or an aunt or uncle, whatever it may be. Oh, by the way, she says, "Oh, your dog is too cute. My fur baby's name is Pixie. Pixie is the name of her fur baby." So, by the way, that's an AI-generated image in her PTR there of Brina at her computer writing the next great American novel. And that's her fur baby sitting next to her in her picture there that you can see on our screen. So that's Pixie for you. I believe it is, Brina. Pixie. Just throwing that out there. I don't have any dogs. I don't have any cats. But I did have a dog when I was young, and she was a German Shepherd, and we called her Georgia at the time. So there you go. That's my history of fur babies. Sorry, folks. It's very short, sweet, and to the point. But my other family members have had cats over the years, and I don't mind cats. Dogs, I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't deal with the barking. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I don't blame you. Sometimes I'm like, because my dogs, they don't bark necessarily. When somebody comes to the door, they scream, which is terrible. And I've definitely tried to train them out of it, but they're something about the little dog thing. Something about the little dogs. They're just, yeah.
Interesting. Any experience with this, Brina, and between you and Pixie over there in your neck of the woods? I'm just asking. I don't know. It seems all of a sudden we've turned this into a fur baby appreciation hour.
No, that's fine by me.
But yeah, I mean, you got a lot, Nacho Libre, Jack Black, and he's been doing show business for many, many years. I mean, one of the first times I saw Jack Black was one of the first times was in The Cable Guy with Matthew Broderick and Jim Carrey. He played Matthew Broderick's best friend in that one. He worked for a news station at the time. I think he was a cameraman or an editor. One of the two. You can look it up. Movie came out in 94, 95. The Cable Guy. It's a dark comedy with Jim Carrey and Matthew Broderick. And who's the woman who's married to Apatow? Leslie Mann's in it. Leslie Mann.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from This Is 40 and Knocked Up. So feel free to look that one up. That's a dark comedy. I don't know if that's your sort of cup of tea, but Jack Black was also in School of Rock. I mean, who could forget School of Rock, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, like, you guys have never heard like metal. You've never heard Motorhead, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC. Oh my God, what are they teaching in this place?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
School of Rock is iconic, right? And then what was? I'm trying to think. What was the one that was? Did you ever see This is a romantic comedy. It was called Saving Silverman. He was in that with Steve Zahn and Jason Biggs from American Pie. So if you haven't seen that, you may want to look that up. That's another funny raunchy comedy you may want to dive into a little bit.
All right, sounds good.
Brina says, "Oh, of course, my girl over here is a barker for sure. Ha ha ha." So Pixie is a barker. Okay, well, you and Cammry have something in common here. You're simpatico here. So if you and Cammry want to exchange stories about the fur babies, follow each other on social media, which
absolutely.
Which is a possibility I'm sure we can make happen. Well, I do want to take this opportunity, if you don't mind me saying so, to say thank you to Cammry Lapka for being our guest on this week's episode of FreeWheeling Fridays. I learned a lot more than I thought I would. We learned that she likes audio dramas, which Morona Grant, that's a perfect opportunity to plug Morona Grant and the Lost Tomb of Golgotha, which we have the link here for you guys in the comment section of this video, which, Cammry, you can go back to and you can find it and you can listen to it. I think you're really going to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And Cammry's diving her toes into the Kickstarter wars. This is your first Kickstarter you're doing all by yourself as a badass solo artist. So let's support Cammry in any way, shape, or form that we can. The link to the Kickstarter is provided for you in the comment section of this video. But Cammry, if someone wants to know more about you, where can they follow you specifically on social media to do that?
So my username is CronCrook. You can find me pretty much anywhere. Otherwise, my website is cammrylapkaart.com, and all of my social medias are on my website. So, otherwise, you can just look me up by my name too, and I should pop up. I have a pretty unique, weird name, so.
Sounds good to us.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, and we wish you the best of luck with this Kickstarter and everything you got going on.
Thank you.
With this and beyond, because I think you have a bright future ahead of you.
Thank you.
In my humble professional opinion. I mean, I've only been podcasting for over 5 years, Cammry. I've seen lots of talent.
Wow.
Over the years, we've interviewed some of the best indie artists, creators in the business, and you just happen to be the new generation of it. So you got a lot going for you, young one. So just
Thank you.
Keep pushing. Keep hustling.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try.
Keep hustling. Represent the Pacific Northwest.
Absolutely.
Of Americana in grand style. All right, just keep on keeping on, friends. But thank you for being with us. I'm going to talk to you here again momentarily, so feel free to grab some food or drinks in the backstage area of our non-existent physical studio and say hi to the fur baby, Nacho Libre, and Jack Black there for me, will you? And Brina, thanks for sharing with us some fun facts about yourself and the things you got going and the lovely fur baby you have in the comfort of your own home named Pixie. Oh, it's such a cute name. My name is Ryan of Anti-Quote Channel. Follow me across all forms of social media. Where is it written? Here it is, right here, right below my name. Ryan Anti-Quote Channel. You can follow me there. Links to where you can follow Cammry and myself are located in the description down below. If you need anything else, follow me on Instagram at Anti-Quote Channel. That's where you can catch up on all the social media posts, all the upcoming shows we have. We do movie watch-alongs. We have a show called Anti-Quote where I interview some of the best indie creators from all over the world. And we do a show the first Fridays of every month called The Meaning of Fandom. But in this case, with May the 4th be with you coming up, we decided to do a special episode of the Nerdy Cantina, where we celebrated all things Star Wars in a galaxy far, far away. Hence the reason I got a Jedi t-shirt on, and I have The Last Command, which is book 3 of the Thrawn trilogy, written by Timothy Zahn, in our background of our studio here to be on display to encourage you to check out these books, also including Lunar Logic by Adina Mignona, a very good indie sci-fi author, a good friend of ours. We like to support those who support us, and we encourage you to check out these Kickstarters, check out all these books, check out all the comic books, because all you got to do, folks, is take a look. It's in a book. It's that simple. It's that simple, folks. But thank you for joining us on this episode of FreeWheeling Fridays. If you want to know more about what goes on here in the madness of entertainment group, oh yeah. Once again, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when the videos go up. And FreeWheeling Fridays drops on every Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check out all that stuff. But if you want to know more about what's going on with the madness, don't take my word for it. Just take a look.
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comics sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide.